Hello and welcome to our virtual booth. In these difficult times, we're unable to visit you personally. That would not be the wise thing to do, so we would like to give you a little tour of all of our key management systems in this way. This is usually where I would shake your hand, but that's also not the smartest thing to do right now. I can even offer you a cup of coffee, so feel free to grab your own coffee, pause the video for a little bit, and then sit back in your chair and relax and watch us talk about our key management solution. Basically, the concept is very easy. What you see here is cabinets in all different shapes and sizes, and then a user interface where the user has to identify. And then based on the user account, the user is allowed to take a key, a number of keys, and that could be in one cabinet or all across the cabinets. I'm going to show you how it works on our management system with a roller shutter. That's actually the best way to do it, because the one thing with a swing door that will always get to you is that people leave the door open. That creates an alarm, and based on that alarm, whoever is administrating the system is going to be very busy. Experience learns that 2 or 3 times a day people will leave the door open, and that's going to cost you some hassle that you don't want to have to deal with. So again, the user interface, the cabinet with a number of key positions, and it's basically a card. You can also use a pin or any other way of identifying yourself. We will do it with a card, and as soon as I present the card, the system is going to tell me who I am. Well, I obviously know who I am, and then it gives me 2 options. I can either take or return a key. I'm going to take a key first. This is the drop-down list of keys that I'm allowed to take. I push the button, and everything goes automatically. So all keys remain locked in position, except for the one I chose. I made it hard for our camera guy because I picked one all the way to the right. And then if I have that one key, I can leave. And that's where the automatic roller shutter comes in very handy, because it automatically closes, so I don't have to worry about the keys being vulnerable to the environment. I can also present the badge, take my first key, and immediately afterwards take my second key without having to log in again or whatever. And ultimately I cancel my own transaction so that the system immediately closes. So far so good for taking keys. Now if I want to return a key, I present the badge, and now I select to return a key, and the system asks me to present the key tag. And this is where RFID, no contact technology, comes in very handy, because I present the key and the system immediately tells me where this key is supposed to be returned. I return it, it's locked in position, and we're all set. I again cancel my transaction, and we're good to go. If I present the card and the key tag, the system automatically recognizes that I'm returning a key. Key position 4 lights up. What happens if I return it in 32? Well, 32 will read the unique tag number inside of our contactless key tag, and it will still ask me to return it in the preferred position. As soon as I do that, it's locked. This also means that if I return key 7 and by accident I push it into slot 32, that the system has a decision to make. It either accepts key 7 in position 32, or it keeps beeping like this all day, and everybody walking by the system can still take it out. Since that's not an option, eventually the system will accept key 7 in position 32. And again, this is where a very smart key management system will work with us and allow us to still use the system, because now when I select key 7, the system won't tell me that position 7 is empty. It will redirect me to where key 7 actually is. So the RFID tag in here is not only really user-friendly, and it allows me to always use the system in a very intuitive way, it's also very reliable, because this key tag can deal with the dirt and the dust and the moist and everything. It will always read inside the system, and that's probably the most important part, because this is what people are going to be using on a day-to-day basis. This will go in and out of pockets. It will be exposed to all kinds of environments, and at the end of the day, if I return this and it's not recognized by the system because I'm using a contact base or whatever the means of identification is, as long as it's not RFID and a contact is necessary, there will be times when the system will not recognize your key tag. Just think of it as the remote from your television. Occasionally I have to push the channel that I want to watch twice, because the first time it just didn't fit. If I want to have more than one key tag, then scrolling down will mean I have to select individual keys. If I scroll up, I can also do a group release, and that really makes life easy, because now all the keys that I'm allowed to take will light up. I take the ones that I want to use for today, and I just cancel and be on my way. We've talked about the roller shutter door before. It automatically closes, so that gives you a very good benefit. That doesn't mean that we do not have a swing door. So this is the other part of the spectrum. A very large cabinet with extremely with lots and lots of keys, and the idea is the same. Other than the automatic roller shutter door doesn't open itself, I now have to open the door, but the concept is the same. All the keys that I'm allowed to take light up, and if I close the door, everything is cancelled as well. Much more flexibility, larger number of keys, and a swing door. The option is there. In a nutshell, this is what our key management system is about. Keep in mind, we always know who took what key and when it was taken. And if we look into our software, we can also monitor when it should be returned, all kinds of events, but that's something we want to go into more detail during our webinar. So if you leave this booth, this virtual booth, so to speak, then feel free to click on our webinar, and one of our experts will have a scheduled talk with you and explain everything. Thanks for watching.